Welcome back to what I want to eat right now. I saw this really great recipe for dried fruit and peanut butter breakfast cookies on the Kumquat blog, and I really thought it looked interesting. I tried it and it was fantastic. And it's a really, it's not a really sweet cookie, which is why it's sort of leaning towards breakfast, although I like eating them any time of the day. So let's get started. First, you want a half a cup of chunky peanut butter. And get the peanut butter in there. Okay. Next, a quarter cup of warm coconut oil, and that's going to make it really nice and healthy. If for some reason you don't want to use coconut oil, you don't have it, you could use canola oil. You could also use butter. And one egg, which has been beaten there. Okay. Coconut oil, egg, peanut butter, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and I'm using grade B maple syrup, which I like best, but if you like grade A, go ahead and use that. You could also use, if you wanted, honey, and you could also use coconut nectar. Alright, that is 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Now mix that all up. And you can see this is all the liquid ingredients. Can you see that? And really what you want to do is break up the peanut butter, because the peanut butter tends to be the most sort of thick and viscous. The others are in there to kind of loosen that up a little bit. Okay, so we've got that. And then we are going to add 2 cups of gluten-free rolled oats. You don't have to use gluten-free, but I happen to be using gluten-free rolled oats. 1 cup is coming straight out of the package. The other cup I stuck in a food processor and I pulsed it a few times because I sort of like the idea that it's broken up just a little bit, but I want to make sure that we have some of the full oats because that is a nice texture. So I've added that. I'm adding a cup of raisins. I'm adding half a cup of chopped apricots. And I'm adding half a cup of date pieces. Now the original recipe calls for cranberries. I decided I wanted to use date pieces instead, but if you want to use cranberries, go right ahead. It would be great. So I'm going to mix that up. And you can see it come together. It's a really chunky cookie with a lot of dried fruit, but that's sort of what makes it great, and it gets a lot of the sweetness from the dried fruit. Because there's not much, there's no sugar, there's just that maple syrup in here. You can see it looks really great. And to that I am going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So there's the cinnamon. There is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I am going to grate some fresh nutmeg, which I like better than already grated, but feel free to use whatever you like. And that feels like about a 1/4. I'm going to mix all of that up. A little bit of maple syrup. There we go. Mix all of that up. And what I'm going to do after this, I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes just so that the liquid mixture sort of softens the oats a bit. It makes it easier to form into cookies. That wasn't in the original recipe, but I have done this now a few times, and I have felt like it's really a problem to kind of make the cookie and get it to stick together. So now that I have everything mixed up, I'm just going to let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so the oats softened for about 15 minutes. I used a 1/4 cup measuring cup to put them on the baking sheet with some parchment paper, and I have 12 cookies on here, and now this is going to go into a 350-degree oven for 14 to 16 minutes. When I did it before, it was about 17 to 18, so it might take a little bit longer, but wait until they're a little bit brown and it feels like they're solidified. The cookies are out of the oven and they look fantastic, and the house smells amazing. So they cooked for 15 minutes, and I'm just going to try one here. Really soft in the middle, a little bit crunchy on the outside. Sweet, but not too sweet. These are really, really great. And while they're warm, amazing. I hope you try them. You don't even have to eat them for breakfast, eat them anytime. They're great. Dried fruit and peanut butter breakfast cookies. Dried fruit and peanut butter breakfast cookies. Hope you enjoy them. The recipe is going to be down below. Please subscribe. Come back another time and watch more recipes, and join us on our journey. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.